Hi everyone, and welcome to the Adobe Think Tank. My name is Kari Wolf, I'm from Adobe, and we are here broadcasting live on the streets of Times Square in downtown New York City. We are here for Advertising Week, which is a gathering of some of the most interesting and influential people in the space. And we're spending the week interviewing many of them to get perspective and advice for all of you who are looking to spark your digital transformation. So to that end, I'm joined today by Mike Weir, who is the Vertical Director for Technology at LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, I'm happy to be here.
This is definitely an interesting experience. As you can see, we're live. It doesn't get more live than this. So we're looking forward to kind of hearing what you have to say and what advice you can share with our listeners today.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to start with a question that really speaks to your role advising technology clients. And I'm wondering what challenges you see them facing that are posing the biggest hurdles.
Yeah, I mean, as it relates to adopting technology, I think whether you're in an actual technology company yourself or any other company, strategy is the first thing that people have to consider. One of the biggest challenges that I see are micro decisions being made by just individual stakeholders across the organization to purchase new technology. Any of the technology that we're purchasing is intended to connect to a larger strategy. Sometimes that's not taken into consideration. What is the business trying to accomplish? What role does the technology play in that actual outcome we're trying to drive? And they'll make a micro decision and then expect on the macro a lot of people to adopt this technology and maybe even drive their behavior change from day to day. You might be asking, if you're a marketer, a salesperson to operate differently day to day, but they're not part of the conversation leading to the technology purchase. They're not bought into the outcome that it's trying to drive. So not thinking about the bigger picture, understanding who the stakeholders are in the leadership team that will help drive adoption, and then finally bringing in how is the technology going to empower that vision. That's one of the biggest hurdles we see today.
Yeah, I hear you. So a lot of times a decision is made to implement a technology and then they try to work it bottom up.
Yep.
And gain adoption and connect it to a broader strategy. Sounds like your advice is start with the strategy, get the foundation in place, the buy-in, the awareness and the knowledge, and then focus on implementation.
Absolutely. I mean, I love a good bottoms-up strategy. I think there's validity to that, but at the same time, if that's the only course of action and it's not ultimately going to connect to the bigger picture, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle for a very long time.
Understood. So as you advise technology clients, what are some of the big bets they're interested in or that you're recommending to them?
Oh, geez. Within the marketing world, I think the biggest bet that we really have right now is around data. And I think that there's tons of conversation about mobile, very necessary. There's increasing conversations around VR, AR. Those are great mediums to reach people. But at the end of the day, the biggest asset that we're going to have forever is the data that we sit on as a company. And that's internal data, that's external data sources. So the biggest thing that we're talking to clients about is how can you get a handle on the data that you have today? How can you add and augment to that data so that you create a very powerful asset for you as a company to build your strategy and enact your strategy against? And I think that's where, from a LinkedIn perspective, from an Adobe perspective, we are both trying to help power that vision to either get great data assets into the hands of our mutual clients or help activate on those data sets that they are creating that gives them a sense of who our customer is, who our prospective customer is, and create great experiences for them that show the value that they as a company can provide.
Mm-hmm. How do you think data sets the foundation for automation? Is that a direction you're taking a lot of your clients?
Absolutely. There's the old adage that bad stuff in, bad stuff out, and data is the foundation of any automation effort, any technology effort that you put forth. So if you don't have a strong handle on your data sources, on the integrity of that data, on the hygiene over time of that data, then any automation, any technology you put in place is going to be working off of false promises. So it's very important to have that foundation extremely solid and a long-term focus on maintaining that asset so that your automation efforts are then very accurate and fruitful.
do you think the potential is for technology to shape experience? We're here talking about the future of advertising, and it really comes down to experience. That's what we're trying to create for the folks that we're targeting. So how are you advising your clients to shape experience? And how are you doing that with your own customers?
Well, for us, I mean, experiences is really, that's our promise to our member base as LinkedIn. In the bigger picture, we are a members first company, and experience is everything. It's not, it's really what we have to be about. So it starts with, how are your customers, your prospective customers, experiencing your brand? What are the touch points that they're interacting with, and how does that actually provide them value? So as we're talking with our clients or we're thinking internally, any kind of product that we're putting forward is ultimately about what value are we going to bring to a member by doing this, and the way that we're creating this experience, is it how they would want to consume that content, consume that information, drive that interaction with professionals that they're connected to. So if we start from those touch points, and then we really think about the natural and organic way that they're trying to get value out of that micro experience, it helps us to shape all those touch points to make sure it's more of a client-centric experience versus us just creating microsites all over the place, putting lead forms on every single piece of content so that people that are trying to learn about our marketing products don't access it because they don't want to give us their information.
Right. So think about it as a journey, a connected
Absolutely.
journey.
It's a great way of saying it.
Wrapping it up, last question. We'll just do a quick hit take. I'll ask you to play prognosticator.
Right.
When we're sitting here together in 5 years, what are the buzzwords we'll be talking about at Adweek?
Well, I think even in 5 years, artificial intelligence is going to be one of the mainstay conversations. But I think it'll be, in 5 years, it'll be more about what artificial intelligence has empowered us to do differently. I think very interesting things around personalization will be a commonplace conversation where we're utilizing that core data asset that we've created to unlock very rich, dynamic experiences within flagship properties like our website. So I believe artificial intelligence and the things that it spawns around personalization, that's what we'll be here talking about in 5 years.
Okay. Well, I'd love to connect with you then. Thank you so much, Mike, for sharing your wisdom and your perspective. Thank you all for joining us, and we're happy to be broadcasting here and hope to see you again.